You think?
Well, yeah, the only thing is, James and I, we went to the field. We didn't do much work, but we told him what we'd done was always very good. And then the other thing, I got him pretty well trained. Had him just well trained when he left. When I backed up, he could drop the pin in the pole and hook up the wagon. And then the other thing we got him trained to do is go get the mail. So about that time we had them all broke in, like they went home.
Did I get along pretty good? Have you ever heard a good fight?
No, we tried it. As far as getting a fight with the women, no problem.
Oh.
No, you could have a couple of divorces before breakfast.
Get remarried and start over.
Yeah. At Newman, you just start all over again.
So y'all just kind of gang up man to woman, huh?
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah. Man to woman, yeah. We had it.
Toe to toe.
Yeah, we had a pastor one time, and we were quite close to him, and he'd come out quite often and stuff. And he says to Albert once, he said, "Albert, did Elwanda ever contemplate divorce?" Albert says, "Divorce, no. Murder, yes." So but we get along real great with Tim and Clara. But like Albert and Clara and Elwanda and Jim, sometimes there's a parting of the ways there, women and men, so. But that's all in fun, too.
Well, I think that's about it.
We really love being with them when they come up there or we come down here, so this has been great.
And what was going on?
Well, I graduated from, or you want him to do it first? Would you want me to go? I graduated from high school in '44 and started to college at Weatherford. And Jim was in the Naval Air Corps stationed at Clinton, and I was skating one night and met him the last day of September 1944. We got married November the 19th in 1944, and he went overseas December the 23rd and was gone until January of 1946. But he was in the South Pacific, and he can tell you about that. Flying in
I was in the Navy. I I volunteered for the Air Corps. First, when I went in the Navy, I went to San Diego for basic training or boot camp, and then I put in for a technical training school. They shipped me from San Diego back to Norman, Oklahoma, and I trained there in ordnance, and then when I left Norman, I went to Lexington to the technical training base there, trained as an aerial gunner, and moved from there to Florida and continued training in as an air crewman, and then we was shipped back to Oklahoma. And this time I went to Clinton, and there in Clinton, we trained in different kinds of aircraft and everything. Then I went to Louisiana and trained down on the Gulf. Okay. And then we met. As she mentioned a while ago, we didn't have much time between the time we met and when I went overseas. But then I left the 23rd of December and went to California, Moffett Field, and trained out of there for just a few months. And then I went to Hawaiian Islands, spent some time there, and out to Midway and back, and then to Palmyra, Canton, Eniwetok, on up to, and then we went on to Guam, and from Guam down into the Caroline Islands, and I stayed there for some months, training and doing patrol work, patrol flights, and bombing of a Japanese island that was there close. And came back to the States and was released, or whatever you'd call it, discharged, and came on back and started school. Went to school at Arkansas Tech for 2 years.
No, we were married. No, I was
When you rejoined him, you went to school with him?
started, and Roy decided to show up on the picture, so I had to quit, and then I never did go back. But I had gone at Weatherford. But then, after he graduated from Arkansas Tech, then we went with A&M. And then we came to Kenna in 49 to start teaching.
So after we got through down at Arkansas Tech, as she said, went to Stillwater, Oklahoma A&M, finished school there in the fall of 1948, and then they needed an instructor here in Kenna, and so I came down and took a fellow by the name of Robert Fields' place here, and which...
At this time you just still had Roy only, or is there another child?
No, during this 3 years of college, why, we had another son, Rob.
When the day Rob was born in Stillwater, the superintendent and some of the board members came to Stillwater looking for an ag teacher, and waited until Rob was born and hired Jim. So then Jim came down immediately and started to work. Then he came back to Stillwater the next weekend and got me out of the hospital. Then you had to stay, got Rob and I out of the hospital. And then he came back and taught another week, and then he moved it. We moved to Kenna when Rob was 2 weeks old, and Roy was 2.5. And
This was February the 4th. Well, 7th is the 4th that I was interviewed and everything. I came down here on the 7th and began teaching the next day. And then 2 weeks later, I moved.
What kind of things happened to you during all this time? Can you think of anything that comes to mind that the kids would enjoy hearing about? Right now you got 2 kids, you've been through the war, been through school.
I don't know. It was kind of a rough time. it was an interesting time. A lot of good friends. And we forgot a lot.
Met a lot of good
from
people
back then.
here.
A lot of them here today that we've known for
For that,
since before we even Well, met him at Arkansas, some of them in Arkansas Tech when we were down there in 46, and have been friends.
And then there was a third child born.
We lost
lost
our third child.
in 50. And then Shane Ann was born in 52 at McAllister. And Roy was born in 57. And Doug was born in 61. Every 4 years.
You mean David, not Roy.
Yeah.
No, I mean Dave, yeah, I'm all out of
Roy
it.
here.
Okay. Roy was born in 46 and Rob in 49, and we lost one in 50. And then Shane Ann in 52, David in 57, and Doug in 61.
You do what I do, you call the wrong name.
Yeah.
I get trouble for that.
Well, sometimes I have to go all the way through them
Yeah.
to get down to the one I'm talking about.